flagged by the TSA as a targeted man. To avoid his new endearment for the Homeland Security, he shaves his beard twice a day. When he smiles, you can't stop yourself from smiling the rest of your day. The New York Times commented, he had the audience convulsing. He insists that his biggest credit is that he is a husband and a father. You feel encouraged by being in his presence. Entertainment is not his calling, it's his life. Join me as we meet the funniest man on this side of Egypt.
Thank you. How are you tonight, Bakersfield? How about a hand for Mark Christopher Lawrence? Thank you, Valley, for having us here. I am from the Middle East, but ever since September 11th, I feel so Mexican. I drove here, I live in Corona, so I normally fly, and I always miss my connection flights because I can't run through the airport anymore. If you look like me, don't run anywhere. People will tackle you in the name of freedom. Because airport security, there are tense. I got arrested for a photobomb. Really? It's hard being Middle Eastern nowadays. It's hard. I watch the news every night. Whenever there's a shooting, I'm like, please, Lord, don't let it be a Middle Eastern. Hurricane, let it be Hurricane Bob, Hurricane Matthew, not Hurricane Abdul or Hurricane Ahmed. It's hard. And even at the airport for me, like I'll be walking at the airport, I hear this, Osama Abdul Hamid, your flight is leaving. Osama Abdul Hamid to gate 33, your flight is leaving. I'm like, I'm glad he's late for his flight. I don't want to be with Osama Abdul Hamid on the same flight. I'm sorry. If your name is Osama Abdul Hamid, go to the airport the night before. Don't make people nervous. I'm walking to my flight. I find out I'm going to the same gate Osama Abdul Hamid is going to. And people are looking at me like, oh, no, I'm not Osama Abdul Hamid. I'm Nazareth the Peacemaker Smith. My godmother is Mother Teresa. I don't want 72 versions. All I need is the King James version. Because it's hard. Because whenever these militant Islamic people do something, we Middle Easterns cannot do it anymore. We can't fly a plane anymore. We can't rent a truck anymore. We can't go to a gay bar. Not that I want to, you know what I mean? We can't do that stuff. Why can't these terrorists do something we don't want to do? Like blow up a colonoscopy clinic. Oh no, doctor, I can't go. I'm suspicious. No. But you have to think what the Middle East gave you, America. We give you oil. We gave you convenience. Yes. Before everybody closed at 9, we stayed up for you people. We did. We gave you religion. Yes, that girl Christian thing, we gave you that. You know, we gave you Homeland Security. Why else would you need it? What did other cultures give you? What did the Italian give you? Pizza. What did the French give you? The Statue of Liberty. What did the Chinese give you? Walmart. I know. Because it's a big movement. We used to be your 7-Eleven people, remember? Where did we go wrong? I'm serious. We were up all night for you. We took your camel jokes, your Slurpee jokes. They didn't bother us. I even have little girls make fun of me. This girl comes to me, she goes, do you know where Middle Eastern people go when they die? I'm like, where, honey? Heaven 11. out of here. But my name is Nazareth. I was born in the city of Nazareth in Israel. And it's a family tradition to name you after the city you're born in. I feel sorry for my brother Waikiki. My other brother Albuquerque. And my sister Buffalo. Location, location, location. Like when you guys name your kids, you look at the baby name book, we look at Google Maps. Taft, that's a good name for a girl, Taft. But I am not Jewish. I'm not from a Muslim background. I came from a Greek Orthodox Christian background, which means we never went to church. One time, my mom took me to church, and the priest had a long beard, and you have to kiss his hand on the cross. Messed me up till this day. I can't watch Duck Dynasty without going, Father Sai, forgive me my sins, Father Sai. But it's funny, like when Middle Eastern moved to this country, they shorten their names. Like Muhammad becomes Mo, Abdullah becomes Sam. I'm serious, which is dangerous. Can you imagine you're crossing the street and a Mack truck is coming at you? And people go, hey, Sam, watch out. Sam who? Too late. Why can't Americans stretch their names when they go overseas? Like Bob will be Kebab. Faye will be Fatima. Phil will be Falafel. I don't know. I was just thinking about it because I love this country. Where's our military people? Anybody, our veterans, people who serve in the military, make some noise. God bless you. Thank you for making this country great, that everybody wants to move here now. I'm serious. I've been in California for 35 years, and being in California, born somewhere else, all your relatives, every summer, they come and stay with you. Every summer. For 3 months. Take us to Disneyland. Take us to SeaWorld. They think I'm a free Uber or something. You know what? I'm very happy about the travel ban. Yes! Yes! For the first time, I get to spend summer with my wife and kids. I would like to add 3 more countries to the ban. And maybe Ohio, too. I have a needy relative there. No, you're not coming to California. I know this is a country of immigrants, but I'm in. It's over. Let's move on. But I love this country. I love this country so much. Let me tell you how much I love this nation. When I lived in Kuwait, I was the George Clooney of Kuwait. I was tall, I was handsome. And now I move here, everybody's tall and handsome. You guys ruin it for me. I feel ugly sometimes. And my Christian friends go, Nazareth, you can't say ugly. We're all created in the image of God. Yeah, but sin entered the world. And it hit some people harder than others. Those are the ones you need to witness to. But I love living in California, and I know people always like earthquakes and stuff. We had a drought for a while. Remember the drought? Are we done with it? I don't know. For a while there was no rain whatsoever. I had to put fake fire hydrants in my front yard. Sad when you get mission teams from Africa coming to California to build water wells. That's dangerous. But the other day, like a couple months ago, we got a call from the fire department in Corona and said, hey, you need to evacuate in 30 minutes. Anybody had to evacuate their home in 30 minutes? 30 minutes. I told him it took me 20 years to fill up the house. Goes, sir, you need to evacuate in 30 minutes. So I called AAA. I said, do you have a company that can come move your stuff in 30 minutes or less? They go, no, we never heard of that. I say, hey, I watch it on the news. There's always burglars who can do that. They go, sir, look for stuff that is expensive and easy to carry. For 25 minutes, I could not find anything. I hate my house. And I looked to my wife, and all she had is a spice rack. Really? Spice rack? She goes, what do you want me to do? I said, hey, let's get those frames, the family picture frames off the wall. So she started taking them out. I go, what about my mom's picture? She goes, it's too heavy. And then my 19-year-old, you know what he went? He looked like those Watts rioters. He had the big screen TV running out into the car. I thought the cops were gonna shoot at him. Like, slow down, we have 20 minutes. Anybody have a 17-year-old daughter? What did she go for? The phone charger, yes. My phone, that's all I want, my phone. And then she started taking selfies with the furniture. Like, what are you doing? I'm gonna miss that couch. What are you putting these pictures on? Oh, I'm putting them on Snapchat. Well, why don't you put them on Craigslist? Maybe you can sell them. I hate this house now. Then my 10-year-old, she goes, Daddy, what do you mean to do? How can I help? I go, say goodbye to the fish in the aquarium. Oh, don't boo. We're not going to take fish in the aquarium. They have the best chance of surviving. Hey, tell them to stay low and not inhale. So I called my insurance agent and said, hey, can you come over and tell me what I need to keep or just something can be replaced? He goes, I live 40 minutes away. I'm like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. He goes, if I were your neighbor, I'll be evacuating too. The only thing we wanted to take with us and left is a big frame from Family Christian Big Store. It says, like a furnace, it's all gonna burn. So we left it. But it's hard. California changing. California is becoming. It's hard as a Christian to tell your opinion anymore in California. But like maybe we're gonna start having like drive-by opinion throwing. And you'll hear it on the news. What happened, Chloe? Oh, we have a drive-by opinion throwing. This guy drove by his truck, pulled his window down, and said something conservative to a crowd. 3 people were shocked. One guy was offended. He passed out. I couldn't take it. I called the ACLU and they dispatched 2 attorneys to the scene. It's hard. See, but as a Californian, we can do stuff that nobody else in the other states can do. We tolerate weirdos. We do. I've been everywhere. I've been to 49 states. We tolerate weirdos more than anybody else. We call them unique. They call them missing. And now we put a disclaimer on everything, right? Even coffee now, they're going to put a disclaimer on it. What's next? Every statement you say, you're getting married and say, hey, Susie, I take you to be my beloved wife till death do us part. This offer is not valid in Delaware, Wyoming, and Florida. I will love you for the rest of my life while supplies last. You look beautiful in that dress. Some restrictions apply. I know, Californians, but we have the best state. It's a beautiful state, and we love to eat in America here, right? We love to eat. This is the only country in the world where you can take French toast, English muffin, Canadian bacon, and call it the all-American breakfast. We love to eat. We make up holidays so we can go out and eat. Valentine's Day is not about love. It's about going out and eating. Try not to take your loved one to dinner on Valentine. There's no love. Mother's Day, let's go out and eat. Father's Day, let's eat. Jesus was born, let's eat. He rose from the, let's eat. Guess what your family gonna be doing 5 minutes after they put you under? Yes. In your memory, they will eat. It's all about food. Our foreign policy is based on food. We'll never have a war with China, Mexico, or Italy. Why not? They have good food. Russia, we're always worried about Russia. You know why? We don't know what they eat. Middle East, we don't care. We'll fight them. Their food sounds like pet names. Here hummus, here falafel. The most beautiful woman in America is not Miss America, it's Mrs. Fields. The cookie lady, yes. We love to eat and we love to go grocery shop. What's the name of it? What grocery shops do you guys have here? Ralph? Yeah, I go to Albertsons. I was in North Carolina. You know what there's a place called, the grocery place? Piggly Wiggly. Really? Would you shop at a Piggly Wiggly? I would have loved to be there when they named the place. What are we going to call it? Grocery town. No, we want meat. Beef country. No, Piggly. Piggly, yes. But we want to know it's still fresh. Piggly Wiggly. We are so blessed here. I lived in countries where you're lucky to find one item when you go to the grocery store. One item. Not in this country. We have 16 brands of tasteless water. Why? Can you tell the difference between a Dasani and an Evian? No. You can? That's good. 20 brands of milk. How many brands of cows do we have? And now we have almond milk and soy milk and coconut milk, and I have to choose one. Ah! And I'm standing next to the fridge. I'm like, I don't know what I want. And this guy walks up to me and goes, did you know there's no almond in almond milk? How is that helpful? I go, did you know there's no beef in regular milk? Then you get to the toothpaste. We have 26 brands of toothpaste. And I had to pick one, so I became picky and powerful. I don't like you. You just want to fight. You want to fight gum disease, you want to fight bad breath, you want to fight gingivitis. You just want to fight, fight, fight. I want a peaceful paste. Then you get to the cereal. 200 brands of cereal, people, an entire aisle. I'm standing right there like the bachelor with a rose. I like you all. But you're too sweet for my blood sugar. Your maturity date is coming too soon. I don't know. You buy one, get one free, a toy inside. Come on, have some dignity. You're literally throwing yourself at me. There is someone out there for you. And I like you the most. But you have to understand at this stage of my diet, I'm not ready to commit to one source of fiber. But we have the best food. The first time I came to this country, I went to a restaurant. I told the waiter, I said, I want some American steak. He goes, what kind? I go, the neck, the back, the leg, any part of the cow will do. He goes, you want London broil, you want sirloin, you want ground, you want shanks? Why do you guys have these names, all that, for a cow part? Does she know that? Have you ever seen a cow walk by and go, oh, I fell and I hurt my tri-tip? Oh, my filet mignon is going to be swollen around. Hey, does this dress make my brisket look big? I love this country. I love America. And I became a Christian here in America. I was a Christian by name. Yes, I wore a cross. I didn't know what it was for, and I used to work with Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, Kevin James. NBC was writing a sitcom for me called Fish Out of Water. a Middle Eastern man in America, and I was into drugs and alcohol, and all of a sudden, a Japanese comic invites me to church. I go to church, Southern Baptist Church, and God grabs a hold of my life. And I turned completely quit. 25 years ago. And the other day I asked the Lord, which you should never do that, how good of a Christian am I? God will prank you. A week later, I was in Houston, Texas at a huge church, a passion play from the birth of Christ till his resurrection. 450 actors. I finished my comedy. I'm standing backstage. And Jesus, the actor, came and stood next to me. He was 6'4", long brown hair, blue eyes, beautiful man. Just what Jesus should look like. You know what I mean? I started singing, I Can Only Imagine What'll Be Like. So I'm looking at him. I was like, can I touch the hem of your garment? Thank you for getting that one. I did the Lutheran church the other day. They go, what? And he looks at me and goes, you weirdo, what do you want? I said, that's not how Jesus talks. He doesn't say weirdo. He goes, so Jesus, you attend this church? He goes, no, I'm a hired model actor. They hired me to do this part. This is true story. They hired the model to play Jesus. I go, don't they have good-looking people at the church to play Jesus? He goes, hey, I need the money. They hired me. So I go, where do you go to church, Jesus? He's in character, you know what I mean? He goes, oh, I'm not a Christian. I don't go to church. That's when the evangelist in me kicked in. So I started witnessing to Jesus. You need you. Do you know who your father is? And he got nervous. He goes, I got to go get resurrected. No, you can't. Read the book first. Read the book. And I didn't think about it till a week later. I was at a missions conference, and missionaries are the nicest, kindest people in the world, except the guy that was sitting next to me. Oh, he was so proud. He's like, Nazareth, I got to witness to the Prince of Denmark. I'm like, I witnessed to Jesus. But hey, I'm not the greatest Christian in the world, trust me. I struggle a lot sometimes. One of the hard, sometimes like when I see a homeless person, there's that struggle as a Christian. Should I give him $1? But if I give him $1, I'm not helping him, he might buy alcohol. Do you have this struggle or just me? You do, yes. And you don't feel bad because it's a struggle. And the other day I gave him $1. And the next day I get a survey in the mail. Did he look needy? Was the sign clean? Would you give him $1 again? Would you tell your friends to give him $1? I'm not giving him money anymore. But my biggest struggle, I should just give and not let God judge. But, my biggest struggle is when you have relatives in your family that are not Christian and they're really mean to you. And you say, Lord, I turned my other cheek so many times, my neck is cracked right now. They just get to you. You know what I mean? Is it me or just... And God said, just pray for them. What do you mean pray for them? You help them. I'm not praying. But I guess when you pray, you forgive. So I said, okay, fine. I'm going to pray for him. The other day, I got next to my bed. I didn't go in my prayer area because I don't want to ruin it. I said, God, I left this guy to you. You know who he is. Yes, I left him up so high, if he falls from grace, he can fall and crash. Bless him, Lord. Well, bless me more. I'm your child. And if you ever send him to heaven, make sure my mansion is so far away from his hut. Yes, Lord, I'm praying. Yes, bless him. Yes, bless him. Yeah, give him a house. He has an apartment. Give him a house. in Kandahar or Baghdad. It's beautiful this time of the year. I'm the victim here, Lord. Just because we're Christians, we're not doormats. I'm just a poor boy. Nobody loves me. He's a poor boy from a poor family, living his life. Easy come, easy go. Bismillah, let him go. I'm sorry, that was Queen. You don't know them. Lord, this man is lonely and understandably so. Surround him with people. Like forensic agents, IRS auditors. I know I have to love people, but now I'm married, I have kids, I love my family. I tolerate other people. And according to your rules of loving, the only thing I love, Lord, is ice cream. In your name I pray, amen. And I did it. I prayed for that guy, and I'm so proud of myself. But it's hard. It's hard to have a... Yes, but I hurt my man. You get old when you... Oh, now I got arthritis in my... Yeah, I heard some of you just came back from Israel. I have friends of mine that were in Israel with me in January. Where are you? Oh, the cheap seats they gave you. You guys, some of you went to Israel with Pastor Roger? It's beautiful there. I mean, every time we go, we have a great time. Except this time, we were in Tiberias. They gave us a terrible hotel for 2 days. It was terrible. Everything leaked. The bathroom leaked. The thing leaked. I went to the counter. I normally don't complain. I said, excuse me, there's a problem. The rooms are bad. She goes, listen, this hotel was voted #1 destination. I'm like, by who? The American Plumbing Association? It was the Gay Beach, J-A-I Beach. That's the name of it. It's in Tiberias. But then, one of the people on the tour, he's like, take me to Gaza. I want to go to Gaza. You know Gaza were the Hamas people? I go, no, we can't. You're Americans. We can't go to the Hamas. He goes, I love Hamas. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, with pita bread. It's hummus, sir. Hamas will blow up your stomach, sir. And then we finished, so we went to Jordan, and we took like tons of goods and, candy and toys and clothes for the refugees in Jordan. And we handed them out to them, and everybody was so excited and thankful, except one guy came to me. He was like one of those Iraqi refugees. He said, listen, we don't like your president. You go tell your Trump, I don't like his foreign policy. I'm like, when I see him, when he goes out to get his mail and I get my mail, he lives in the White House next to us. I will tell him. Because tell him he shouldn't move the embassy to Jerusalem. He should move it where all the Jews are, Florida. But we as Americans, we help the whole world, people. We give, we are wealthy, we give, but other countries are wealthy. The Middle East, like Saudi Arabia and stuff, they're very wealthy in fabric. Their women are always like, there's so much fabric. You go to the beach there in Saudi Arabia, all the women like so much fabric swimming. Not our poor American women. They hardly have like a string to wear. And they have to rub themselves with stuff to stay warm. God bless America. But when I came to Christ, I was single. Any single people? I made a deal with the Lord. I said, Lord, you know more girls than I do. So I'll make you a deal. I'm not going to date. I'm not going to touch a woman. I'm not going to lie to a woman. I'm not going to be alone with a woman. I'm not going to watch pornography. I'm just going to keep myself pure, doing what you want me to do, reach people for you. But I want a beautiful wife with a rich father that memorized the entire Bible. But let your will be done. And don't change it in me. Don't change that. Because I didn't know how to meet a Christian lady. What's my pickup line going to be? Oh, I agape you, you weaker vessel. You look hotter than the lake of fire. Look, you got your glorified body already. You remind me of the verse that said, love thy neighbor. One of them looked at me, she goes, you remind me of the verse that said, depart from me, I never knew you. So I waited. And came that evil day called Valentine's Day. If you're single, it's not a good day. If you're married, this is the only day your husband is more romantic. I know some of you ladies, married women, you want your husband to be more romantic, right? Yes, I understand. But I want to tell you, your husband as romantic as you'll ever need. Yes, you don't want any more than that. Let me put the romantic husbands in a store scale. Your husband could be the Home Depot romantic guy. Do you love me, honey? Didn't I fix the sink yesterday? Nothing spells romance more than a leaky sink. Or he could be like the Best Buy romantic guy. He comes home, honey, look, I got you a new iPhone X. How sweet, thank you. Yeah, I went to buy one. They said buy one, get one free, and I can't think anybody else who deserve it more than you. Or he could be the Sears romantic guy. That's the guy that calls you in the middle of the day, and you go, oh, he goes, I was just thinking about you. You did? Yeah, I saw this cordless vacuum, and I know how much you trip on the cord every time you vacuum. I might get you one. Or he could be the Michael's romantic guy. That's the guy go to Michael's craft store, get a centerpiece, put your picture in the middle, put a heart, and he goes, I love you. I want to stare in your eyes from sunrise to sunset. You know what you call that? Unemployment. If your husband has the time to stare in your eyes from sunrise to sunset, he needs a job. Be thankful for your husband next to you here. He's working hard. He's not buying you flowers every week or every month because he's saving money. So when he's gone, you have money to live off. That's romantic. We think of you even after we're dead. And if you want flowers, you can keep the wreath on the top. Yes. I know. As a Christian, we're scared of dying, right? I know. We got Jesus. See, when Jesus died on the cross, he took all this away. We're not scared of dying. But when it happens, it's like, like one time, I was speaking in Big Bear. I had a white minivan. My daughter, Carol, was only 2, and she had this Barney doll. I love you, you love me. You know what I mean? You squeeze it, and remember Barney? Yes, thank you. I thought I'm old. So I'm driving down Big Bear Mountain, and I'm going too fast, so I'm ready to push the brake, and that stupid doll just rolls and gets stuck between the brake and the thing. I'm serious. I'm pushing. It's like, I love you. I love you. No, I don't want to die. I don't want to die like that. What is my kids going to tell their friends? Barney killed my dad. And you go to funerals and you always hear people say the same thing. He must have knew he was dying because he called me and he told me how much he loved me and how much he loved the kids and how much. Every funeral I go to, they go, he kind of knew. He called and said he loves me. And the other day I was flying somewhere before they shut the door. I called my wife. I said, I love you so much. I love you more today than when I met you. You're so beautiful. And tell the kids I love them so much. I hanged up. I go, oh, no. So now, right before they shut the door, I call my wife. I hate you. I hate you too. I hate you more. Hate you, hate you, hate you. Tell the kids they better do their homework or I'm going to be so mad. It is, but yeah, we're not scared of dying. But Valentine's Day came, and there's nothing in sight, no date, no nothing. I said, Lord, you know what? She doesn't have to have a rich father. Beautiful, and the New Testament is fine with me. Another year, I started losing hair. It's painful on a man. I said, Lord, you know what? She doesn't have to be beautiful, just okay. And the book of John is fine with me. Another year, I started gaining weight. And guys, we gain it right here. When you start erasing your phone messages without touching it, or you can't hear it ring anymore. Pizza Hut, I didn't call you. My fat called you. While you're at it, make it a large pepperoni and hurry up. I said, Lord, John 3:16, bring her over. I'll witness to her. And I waited. 1995, my father was dying at Hoag Hospital in Newport Beach. He said, son, when I die, would you do me a favor? I said, yes. He said, would you go to Israel for me? I said, sure. He said, would you go to the Gaza Strip? I said, no, I'm not. But I did. When he went to be with the Lord, I flew in to Tel Aviv. I drove to the Gaza Strip. The first night I'm there, I'm sitting with my atheist cousin from Baltimore, his fiancée and her sister. And my cousin looks at me, he goes, you look happy, what's wrong with you? You're in Gaza. I said, Jesus changed my life. He gave me, I used to live for me, all about me. How can I make my life easier, better, more fame, more this? And Jesus took my heart of stone and gave me a heart of flesh. Now I no longer care. I care about other people now. I used to be like an old car that keeps breaking down. Now that I'm a Christian, I'm that same old car, but I'm married to a mechanic and have AAA. He looks at the girls, goes, girls, don't listen to him. He's one of those born-again Christians. Her sister said, me too. And I kid you not, I look at her, I said, would you like to marry me? She's beautiful. She looks at me, she goes, I've been praying for a believer to come to this side of the world. Let me pray and fast for 3 days, I'll get back to you. 3 days later, she came back, she goes, I'm starving, let's do it. Yes. That's truly how I met my wife. One day I was single, 24 hours later, I'm planning a wedding. Hope in 24 hours. Just God changed everything for me in 24 hours. And it was amazing. I mean, we were engaged for a year because 5 days after we met, we got engaged. I came back to the States, went back a year later, we got married. Our wedding was different. We had 600 people at my wedding. I didn't know any of them. But if you don't invite them, they get mad. And at the end of the wedding, they all line up in one line and give the bride jewelry, mostly gold. That's the culture. By the time they were done, my bride looked like Snoop Dogg. The rapper. She had gold chains, gold watches, gold rings. I spent 3 weeks in LA after the wedding going, hey man, you have a gold watch? Hurry up, it's not stolen, I just want a toaster, okay? But I love my wife. My mom lives with us. That helps. I have 2 daughters and a son. I have enough, what? I have enough hormones. When an estrogen just pouring down, you can drown a men's warehouse with that. And just my mom is 5'4". And if you know anything about Middle Eastern women, they're like African American women and like Spanish women and Filipino women, they will beat you up. There's no time out in our culture. Mom takes a slipper and they never miss. Even to this day, when she goes to like Nordstrom's to buy shoes, she look at the shoes, she goes, it's like, and then they should have a target. She tries to shoot at the target. No, the heel goes to the left too much. I will, Mom, I'm too old for you to throw this at me. And when we were little, my mom wore this, what do you call it, the Spanx? We call them the girdle, the Spanx to look skinny. Yes, to keep them skinny. They're like, and when she wore them, she can't breathe. So she's always in a bad mood. Stop it, kids, I can't inhale, okay? Hey, get me that purse, I can't bend over. I will get you, no, you can't, Mom. But, so we were married, and a year and a half later, my wife got pregnant, and we went to Lamaze. Lamaze is a French word that means don't waste your money. The baby's gonna come out anyway. We had a beautiful baby boy. We named him Newport Beach. 2 years later, we had baby Carol. Sleeps all day, stays up all night. I'm pro-life, but not at 2 in the morning. And then 7 years later, we have baby Tally. Tally is Hebrew for oops. But we've been married 21 years. I want to tell you, sometimes people, their marriage doesn't work much because I'll tell you, you rush. If you're single, don't rush to meet someone right away and just want to, you think you get someone who's a lot in a different, get a real estate agent. Let them pre-qualify you. Say, hey, listen, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I think I can get someone who's an 8 or a 9. They look at your salary, you look at your credit, you look at their Facebook, and go, nah, you're probably a 6 or a 7. And if you remove some of those pictures from your Instagram, we can go to 8 maybe. Go out and find someone who's a 6 or a 7 and get us their MLS number and we'll look at it. And you go find someone, you call them, you give them the number, and say, okay, nobody made an offer on them. They're available. And you open escrow. Then you get an appraiser and go, yeah, she's a 7 or an 8. And then the inspector go, yep, that's the same color hair. They said who they are. He said he's romantic. Yes, he has flower. He bought flowers before. It's possible. And then you close the escrow. And then at the wedding day, and that's where the dad brings the bride and hand her to the groom. And just like in a house, he has to give the disclaimers. Hey, she has a great foundation. All the plumbing works. When she was little, she was a bedwetter, but she's fine now. The plumbing all works. She's a little fixer-upper. The backyard is a little bigger than normal, but that's fine. And the windows to her soul can leak if you make her upset. Say you do. And when you say you do, get Verizon Wireless to write the marriage contract because you can never get out of it. But I have 3 kids. I'm a father. And they don't listen to me anymore. My kids don't listen to me. For Christmas, they got me an Alexa. You know that Alexa that Google stuff, Amazon? You talk to it, it'll do whatever you want. It will turn the lights off, it will do stuff, it will sing to you. It's amazing. I went and bought 3 more. I felt like a Saudi prince with 4 brides. Whatever I want, I tell Alexa. And now they make them in different ones. They have the Russian Alexa now. She spies on you. The Indian Alexa, she puts you on hold for 45 minutes. The African American Alexa, you don't tell me what to do, okay? And then the Middle Eastern Alexa, she comes with an extra cover. And she doesn't talk to men. And of course, the Jewish mom Alexa, how come you didn't talk to me yesterday? I was worried about you. Take a sweater, it might be cold out there. But this technology, the whole technology, Siri, my kids think I'm Siri. Dad, do this. Dad, take me to the mall. What I heard you say, you want to go home to finish your homework. No, Dad, my friends are waiting at the mall. Take me to South Coast Plaza Mall. What I heard you say is your father doesn't have money for you to buy all this stuff. I hate you, Siri. What I heard you say, I'm taking your phone away from you. But I hate Siri. I don't like Siri. Siri wants to deport me. Seriously, the other day I go, Siri, call home. She called, oh, what you said? Homeland Security. No! Don't call Homeland Security, call home. But we are. And technology has moved. Our kids are more technological than we are. I remember we used to save our data on a floppy disk. Remember that? And then became like a CD, then became a hard drive, then a flash drive, and now it's in the cloud. Our data is in the cloud. And people are scared they're going to lose their data in the clouds. I'm here to comfort you. When Jesus rose from the dead, he went in the clouds. And Jesus saves. And one day he's coming back in the clouds. So your data is saved with Jesus in the clouds. But Jesus, like Microsoft, he doesn't like Apple. I know, I'm an mad guy, I know. Because it says, when you tithe to church, God's gonna open the windows of heaven. Not the max of heaven. Because he doesn't like their logo, the apple with a bite. That's where sin entered the world. Thank you. I wrote that. Actually, I wrote everything I said tonight. I think of stuff like that. And my kids, my daughter, she's 17. She's already spending so much money on makeup. She goes, $50 for foundation, another $50 for base and stuff. I'm like, hey, what are you, building a house? I can get you foundation for $12 from Home Depot. And the other day, true story, we got up almost a month ago. We got up in like 5 o'clock in the morning, and she's passing out next to the stairs. She fainted. And we were shocked. We called 911. Within 5 minutes, they were there, which is not good because that's not enough time to brush your teeth, clean up the house a little bit, and try to look normal. They should have a reality show called 911. Not about the people getting sick, about how fast you can clean up your house in 5 minutes. And when they came in, all my neighborhood, I know I live in a poor neighborhood because all my neighbors came out when 911 came. In a rich neighborhood, they don't do that. 3 days later, when they see you getting your mail, oh, I was concerned. What happened? Well, 6 firefighters came to the house. I started getting nervous. I started giving them information. They go, we want to get her vital signs. I go, she's a Capricorn. She's 17, honor student, middle child. But I know they do the whole thing of like, the vital signs is the most important thing in your life. Your blood pressure, your temperature, your breathing perspiration, and your pulse. That's what's important. Nothing else matters. If people brag to you, I drive a Lexus, I drive a BMW, I'm 120/80. You should put that on your Facebook, under about. Don't say, I'm out. No, just put that. People look at you, wow, they're healthy. Maybe on eHarmony, if you're single, change the language. If you're a guy, say, hey, a single white male with a good heart beat, looking for a hot brunette, 98.7 or more. A slow breather with a good perspiration. I don't know. So anyway, so then the paramedics came in. They came in after, and the guy just said, I started looking at her. He goes, what have you done different in the last 24 hours? I go, I took her phone away. She said she would die, but we didn't believe her. He goes, sir, she's a teen. You need to keep the phone close to her and keep it charged. If you have teenage, don't take the phone away. They will die. I know it was dehydration only, which thank God, and we got the bill, $3,000 for dehydration. Now I'm sick and my bank account is dehydrated. And then my son, he's 19, he went to college, Biola University. Have you ever dropped your son? Anybody had to drop their kid to the dorms? Did you cry? I cried for the first time. I'm a tough guy, I don't cry. I cried when we left him. We dropped him. It was like returning a leased car that you love and walking home. And mothers, I envy you, the way you show your love. His mom went to Bed Bath & Beyond. She bought stuff for a 4-bedroom apartment and shoved it in his dorm room. They couldn't find his roommate for 3 weeks. I want to share a story with you. A friend of mine was sharing with me, and it's really interesting. I was in Calgary, Canada, and it was minus 40 degrees there. And the pastor goes, it's a little nippy, eh? I'm like, nippy? I'm from California. We evacuate in this kind of weather. When you can die at room temperature, that's not nippy, eh? I feel sorry for marriages over there. Can you see the wife going, honey, I don't feel your love anymore. You don't feel my love, I don't feel my feet. But he was telling me a story. He said, Nazareth, my wife is Swedish. We were in Sweden and we're listening to the radio. And while we're listening to the radio, this DJ came out and he said, what's your biggest regret in life? And he said, one guy called. He said, my biggest regret is when I was a teenager, I had a hamster named Hans. And I loved that little hamster. But you know how teenagers are. We said, hey, what if we put a parachute on Hans and drop him from a 6-story building, and we'll catch him from the bottom, and it will be great. And he said, we did. We made a little, parachute for Hans. And he said, I went on the top of a 6-story building in Copenhagen, and I let him go. And my friends were waiting. But the wind picked up. He said, instead of Hans coming down, he started going up. And we ran down, and we started running until the edge of the island, and he went in the clouds, and he disappeared. Because that's my biggest regret. And the pastor said, 5 minutes later, this lady called screaming. She goes, you will not believe this. I lived in the island next to that last caller. I was 5 years old, and I begged my mom for a hamster. And my mom said, over my dead body, you'll never have a hamster in my house. No animals. If Jesus wants to give you a hamster, he will give you a hamster. True story. She goes, the next day, I was in the park with my mom, and Jesus just dropped a hamster from heaven in a parachute. And it landed right in my hands. And I said, my mom said, if God gave you a hamster, who am I to say no? Tell that last caller, Hans died fat. Ladies, if your husband snores, raise your arm. I want to pray for you. Keep it up, keep it up. Don't do that, sir. Keep it up. I have an aunt who died from secondhand sleep apnea. It can kill you. Because men don't admit it. I don't snore. Yes, you do. It's on Facebook, 200 likes. They forget that this woman's, people who snore, your wife, been praying for you before she met you. Lord, send me a prince. We're going to get married. We're going to talk and pray and worship God. And you get married at wedding night at midnight. He's... But you're still madly in love. You go, oh God, my honey needs oxygen. Tilt your head, honey bun, you're making little noises. 2 years later, you still have not slept since wedding night. He's still, but now your attitude have changed. You look at him and look up and said, God, Moses killed an Egyptian and you forgave him. Let's just call it a pillow fight that went wrong. 5 years later, you no longer sleep in bed next to him. You just stand there staring at him. Look at you, you oxygen hog. You suck the roof when you inhale. And you start treating him like a dog. Roll over, roll over. He goes, what? Lay down. 10 years later, he has a machine now. I should have listened to my mother. 15 years later, he's older, drooling her on the throat like... Just look at him and say, God, just take him. I sacrifice him back to you. Just like Abraham put Isaac on the altar. Here you go. And don't send me a goat. I'm going to keep the goat. I'd rather hear bad and... What does he sound like, ma'am? See, some of them sound like a Harley Davidson that needs tune-up. They'll be... Honey, put her in neutral. I'm trying to sleep. Some sound like a lion facing a hummingbird. They'll be... Some of them scare you. They'll be... Wake up, we have a mortgage. Wake up. Not in this economy, you're not leaving. Good try. I don't know why I don't snore. I'm from the Middle East. We're like Jewish people. We snore when we talk. Hi, how are you? That's why some women wear veils. It's not religious. One time I was doing the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee, and they forgot to book a room for my road manager. They put me at the Opryland with 2 big beds. I said, hey, I have an extra bed. He goes, no, you're the artist. No, come on, man. He's older. He's sleeping. I'm sleeping. I wake up to hear someone cutting a tree and eating Doritos at the same time. All night. I said, I can't do that. So I put my headphones on. I turned it to rap. It's the loudest thing I could come up with. Didn't even help. It was like... Oh no, I need sleep. So I took my pillow and I'm going to choke him a little bit to wake him up. I get close. He started dreaming out loud. Oh, they're coming. Open the door. Run to the car. Start the car. The car won't start. I wanted to choke him, but I wanted to hear the end of the story. I'm Nazareth. Thank you so much for having us here. Another hand for Mark Christopher Lawrence. Thank you so much. Bakersfield. We'll see you. God bless you.